today we got to come back to this garden. We haven't been here in 2 whole months. We planted this garden back in August. It was pretty hot, but we put all kinds of different plants in this garden to see what might make it. And today we get to check it out. So come on into the garden with me and Susie. She's got a ton of questions for me, so I'm going to try to answer as many as I can, troubleshoot some weird stuff, and also plant for the coming weeks. Let's get into it. Hi, Susie.
How are you?
Wow, I love it.
Can you believe it?
It's so pretty.
The little caterpillars got at my broccoli and my cauliflower a little bit, but I sprayed them with garlic, like you say in your videos.
And did it help?
Yes. They thought it was disgusting.
Look how much look how much arugula you have.
I know.
Have you been harvesting?
Oh, yes. I eat it almost every night.
You do?
Yes.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
Oh, it's wonderful.
And the parsley, man.
Yes.
These beds look beautiful.
And look at my beans.
Oh, they're perfect. They're just starting to climb.
I'm afraid to cut them, though.
Oh, you can cut those.
I can cut them?
This is the hard part of beans, though. Is
so when they start looking like regular beans,
enough?
You just cut them?
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, like all these, you're going to get one fork full of beans.
That's about all I want.
But if you harvest all these, it'll encourage the plant to make more.
Okay.
So all these I would take off the plant.
Now?
Yeah, and then
Even these little guys?
leave the little ones.
Okay.
But all the ones that are close,
look like beans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where it's just big enough, and then you'll have just enough to literally go. And then
and that'll be it. That's okay. I'll say I grew these.
You'll say, well, that was worth it. So is this that funny disease?
What is that?
This is that funny thing that was on your thyme.
Oh, that was...
This
really?
Is,
It's a disease?
It's not a disease, but it's a parasite.
I didn't know what it was.
We had this.
I didn't remember I had it.
No, it's not. These are carrots. No, I'm smelling the dill. That's what I'm smelling.
No, but you're right. I see this time.
It was on the thyme at another one of our clients, and Sydney looked it up.
I've never known it.
And it's a little parasite that.
How disgusting.
Feeds off the.
So whenever you see it, just pull it off.
Just pull it off. It's like little hairs. Isn't that funny?
I was afraid to pull it off because I wasn't sure what it was doing.
Well, it's not like bad, but it's just.
It's a parasite. That's bad.
It's feeding off your
specifically the thyme
plants.
It's not welcome here.
Yeah, is it on the thyme? Yeah, I think it came.
with the
We had it on. It was funny because we were planting this garden. I guess right around, maybe it was even the week. Same week.
same.
It was the same,
Same group of
same
plants.
batch.
Same batch.
And we were like, what is this hairy thing?
Yeah.
So
it looks
weird.
hairy.
It does look hairy.
Okay, so always when I see it, grab it. I didn't want to bother it because I thought,
we
it's
were
probably some mystical thing I need.
It's mystical. Plants are mystical. That's for sure.
They are.
That is funny, isn't it? Wow. Yeah, so you did good with the garlic. I would keep doing it on these.
Keep spraying the garlic. Okay.
And then we'll just keep an eye on the.
And I haven't seen many more caterpillars. There were a lot when it first happened. It first happened, they just had holes all in them. I thought, oh my God, what happened overnight?
I know, right?
And then, so I got it because I had watched your video, and I got out the garlic, and it's. Now this one will be a radish because it's red?
Yes, but we need to get it a little bit buried.
Okay,
So
the
I'll
whole
show
little
you.
plant. Let me put this down.
Did you get to harvest some radishes?
No, I have not. And
okay.
So I need you to show me what to do.
Yeah, we'll see how they
You just dig them out. Look
this
at
is
this
more of
stuff.
this
It's
stuff.
everywhere.
So weird. That is so weird.
But it's a parasite. That is
It's
really...
kind of like moss,
Oh, okay, okay.
Like it's just a plant that feeds off of other plants. And it is serious.
It really is. Well, it's been here a while, as you can tell. I didn't know what it was, of course.
I know. I was telling Connie that I had the first season I gardened. I thought I was getting all these plants coming up in my garden, and they were weeds.
That's so funny.
I was just like, oh wow, look at all the plants I'm growing.
And then, like, the further they grew, I was like, that really does not look like anything I planted. Like, this was not the plan at all. This is so bizarre. I have literally, Susie, never had this happen in all my garden time. Okay, so your parsley, have you harvested any of that?
Yes.
Okay, great, because that looks great.
It's pretty, isn't it?
It is so pretty.
I just don't have enough people eating here to eat it all.
Feed it all, to
Yeah.
do stuff with the food. Well, you're just gonna have to eat more salad, Susie. That's
That's it.
that's the answer.
Well, it's a good answer. One thing I've never done
Yeah.
is thin the carrots. And I wanted to ask
Yeah,
you,
let's look at
are they
those.
at the size where I should do it?
Let's see. So it's a little bit precarious here.
Yeah, because you're going to hurt it.
Well,
Like that.
we got these funny little.
But none of them look too big.
Yeah, they're pretty spindly right now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try.
Because those two are right
carefully
together.
uproot.
So you pulled it. There's no carrot on it, though.
No, not yet. And then I'm going to give it a nice.
Ah.
So the goal with replanting is to not hurt the root. That's the most fragile part.
Okay. So you just have to be really gentle. But see, these two are close now. Is that okay?
Yeah, well,
That's
you
not
want to
too-
think about a carrot, right?
Okay.
So at
So
its
there's room for
widest,
both, yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
At its widest, it's going to need about, I like to say about 2 inches for a carrot.
Okay.
And so, like, I'm
And
probably going to eat
you'd
'em.
rarely find a carrot 2 inches big.
Yeah, it would be pretty. So
Yeah.
I'm going to take it like that. And then, now some people, we are not those people,
Right.
but some people will just thin and then throw out. They're not going to try to replant. They're going to be pretty fragile right after the replanting.
So,
So
it wouldn't hurt if I came in midday with a little spray of water.
That would not hurt, nope. So some people, most people, what they would say to do when thinning carrots is you just take out, you leave
Throw it
one
away.
and take the rest out.
Right.
Exactly. But I just can't bring myself to do that.
No, I couldn't either. And I kept thinking, well,
So see what I did? So
Uh-huh.
it's like little.
about every 2 inches and right along the little hose.
And what the dibber helps do is make sure that,
The roots go down.
yeah, I don't damage the roots as I'm replanting. So just like that.
Uh-huh.
And then get that root down there.
But you're gentle when you pull it up. I need to find one and pull one. But which ones are for now?
They're all now.
They are?
Yep. So every time, see how you see season and you see cool?
Uh-huh.
If it's cool, then it's now all the way till April.
Oh,
Pretty awesome.
awesome.
Right? Yeah.
So I'll be getting, but we're going to need to cover it.
Some is going to be like more tender
Okay.
than others. You know how we get that like really, really cold dip sometime in January or December?
Yeah, it goes down to 9 degrees.
That will hurt some things more than others, but like your kale, your spinach, I'll show you.
I love kale and spinach.
These ones are your hardiest.
And I love red tips. Will those
red
make
lettuce?
it? Yes.
They will be a little bit more fragile, but we can definitely put them in there.
Okay.
But these are the most hardy ones, and then the softer lettuces,
Okay.
they'll still last, but they're not quite as hardy. Basil looks great. So we'll do the same, kind of prune back these big leaves.
Okay.
And then the carrots are stronger over here. You've got a nice row.
Ah.
I again would let them get a little bit longer before you thin
Okay,
them.
and then just come and do what you've been doing.
Yep.
Okay.
I love all this arugula down the middle. I would cut this once a week, kind of mow it down,
Oh, really?
make a salad, and then let it come back. And it'll come back a little bit healthier and bigger every
Okay.
time.
So cut them all. Cut the whole bunch.
Like you could, if you don't need that much at one sitting,
Uh-huh.
but maybe like Monday,
But if I have the
Tuesday.
grandkids over or something.
Yeah, do a
'em.
big one.
Okay.
All right, so we've got our oregano, the arugula.
Now look at these. They've been nibbled on by
Yeah.
something. Just down low again.
So we've got the same thing going. See how these radishes,
Yeah,
they
they're all.
didn't have great soil contact, so
No.
they're kind of popping up. So those could be replanted if you wanted to,
Okay.
or you could just start again from
Yeah.
seed.
And it's not too late to start with new ones?
No, it's not. But yeah, see how these are, they're all like forming root above the ground rather than below.
Yes, and I saw that, but I didn't know what it meant.
I know, it's fine. I mean, it happens to me all the time.
Okay.
So it's just one of those, when it starts to pop up, if it does it again, what you want to do is you can either come in with compost and push it up, and then you don't have to dig it down.
Okay.
But basically what it needs to properly form the root is this needs to be completely covered with the soil.
So is that a radish?
That is a radish, yeah. So
It's kind of sad.
I know, it's trying to.
So you put it several inches in.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
way too high.
Okay.
So if it happens, you know, it happens to me a lot. So I either replant it like this or come around and, oh, see,
That
it's
one's better.
just starting, yeah. But I come around and bury it deeper or just pile up compost around the base.
it. Okay. That's
So-
probably my fault. I probably planted these.
No, it's fine. So two options here is one, you could replant them. It's maybe too late, we'll see. The other option is you can just eat these.
Oh, and they're pretty good, huh?
Try it, see what you think. It's kind of like arugula.
Good.
Yeah. So I'll saute these with some balsamic and soy sauce.
Huh.
And it's like
Delicious.
a really nice wilted green.
Wonderful.
So what do you think with the radishes? What would you like to do? Do you want to just harvest them for the greens and start fresh?
I
I think that's probably
what would
got
you do?
the same thing here. See how they're all high?
You started some, so we'll see how they do.
Yeah, you could
And just pull the rest up.
You can experiment with it, you know,
Okay.
see which ones you think.
Oh, you pull off a lot of those.
These
Okay.
this is seriously getting attacked. So I would go heavy on the
Garlic.
garlic.
Okay.
So I think we can do spinach.
What do you call this little guy?
A hori hori.
Hori, yeah.
We can do some spinach along here. So I would just watch for this.
Look, there's tiny carrots, a
I
couple
know,
of them,
they'll
but they're
come
probably not
along.
going to develop, are they?
Oh,
Because
yeah,
they've been
they
in a
will.
long time.
Well, the weather's been really hot, so carrots are just slow. They're very slow growers.
I need to be sure there's not something else I should ask you about when something's. So the cauliflower will do like the broccoli and send me up something on above the ground.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then the cabbage grows right from that spot as well.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
You want that?
Yeah.
That many? Or that? You want more?
So I'll show you, and then you can do some too.
Okay.
So I'm just going to drop about every 3 inches. And
as soon as it makes a leaf that looks like this, I prune it.
you can eat it.
Okay.
Yeah. And these are really cold. They're like frost tolerant. So even when I lived in Chicago, I planted these in February.
Wow.
And
You can hardly breathe. It's so cold in
I know,
Chicago.
and I was harvesting by the beginning of April.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a really strong, it's a very cool
So you can
hardy
plant it this time of year.
And then you can do it again in February here.
Okay, so
We can
now
do it again as soon as we pass whatever really, really cold.
You want more?
Yes, please. As soon as we pass whatever
Oh,
really,
too
really
many?
cold. No, it's fine. Really, really cold time we have, then we can plant again.
Okay.
So it's pretty awesome.
It is.
It's cool how some of the most like nutritious plants, you know, that we know are good for us, grow at the exact time we need them.
Yes.
So,
like
like-
when the cold's everyone around. And all that.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
you get iron and folic acid and all those things from spinach, and spinach grows during the winter.
That's
So-
wonderful.
So
Right.
you take the hori hori
Yeah.
and you're gonna basically just kind of make yourself like a trench.
Okay. But not deep.
Yeah, not too deep. About
An inch or 3/4?
About an inch.
Okay.
You want to do it?
Yeah.
And then after that,
On
I'll
both
hand you
sides of the
seeds.
hose. Okay.
And that'll help keep it watered.
Okay. It's just got to be so much better for you. I think that's why we started getting cancer so much, because people quit growing their own food.
I know.
Did I make that deep enough?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
All right, now you're just gonna drop, drop, drop.
1 to 2. Now you're going to come back and rake that soil over them?
Yes, I will. We'll put just a little bit over.
If I leave these without thinning them, they'll look like my radishes, won't they? These carrots.
They're not gonna look like your radishes, I think, because you can see how they have better soil contact.
Yeah.
So they are growing underground more than your radishes were.
Okay.
But the carrots won't be very big, which we don't like that.
No. But I don't mind little ones. I get them at the farmer's market and they're good.
These are gonna be real little though.
Okay.
Too little. These look better than those ones in the other bed.
Okay,
I
great.
think the other bed got affected a little bit by that parasite thing. So before we get a frost,
Right.
I want you to harvest all this basil.
Okay, because it'll die.
It'll die,
Okay,
and then
I
you won't
love
be able
it.
to use it.
No.
I know.
But look, is it getting, what is this little dark?
It's just a little bit of.
Is it a disease or is it a?
Like a wilt or a, yeah, it's a disease, not a pest.
Okay.
But I just kind of take those off. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Now I need to know from you before it does freeze what kind of cloth I need to get if
Yes,
you want me to
I
get
can
it.
send you a link to a frost cloth.
Okay.
Most things that you've got here are not going to, they're not going to need to be covered.
Okay, great.
The beans are, but the beans might be done by then. The beans, the marigolds, and the basil. That's it.
The what, the marigold and the basil?
The beans,
Oh, the beans, the marigold, and basil all need to be covered.
or they're just gonna
Gonna die.
die.
Okay.
Yeah.
And these
I mean,
seedlings?
unless it's just dipping a little bit, I wouldn't worry about covering them
That's kind of what I
because
think.
it's not gonna, like, if it gets really cold, they're done.
Yeah. And what about these seedlings we're planting now?
They'll be fine. These are all frost
Okay,
tolerant.
great.
When you're planting seeds,
Yeah.
you're just gonna go, like, you only want to bury a seed about twice the depth, twice the width of the seed.
Oh,
So
Okay.
you're just going to, like, sprinkle that over.
these are tiny. Look how
I know,
little.
right? So you just kind of, it's very, I'm trying to think of the word. It's very technical. You have to go like this. It's really hard.
And how close together?
About every 2 or 3 inches.
I do too much, and that's why they get sickly.
Yeah, spread it a little bit more. That's good. And sometimes if I feel like I got them a little too tight, I'll use the rake to kind of spread it.
them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts in your first few months of
I
gardening?
love it.
You do?
And it's so wonderful to have it out here. You can come out if you're hungry and you look in the fridge and there's nothing in there. You go, oh man, and you go, oh, I've got the garden. And you come out, and if you've got a couple of tomatoes, which is helpful,
Yeah, that's
and
amazing.
carrots.
Carrots, yes.
But I bought both from the farmer's market, and the carrots are still good. And I ate all the tomatoes, but now I'm about done with tomatoes.
Yeah,
But
that's the way the seasons work.
Yeah.
If you eat it, I read this in my first garden book, Animal Vegetable Miracle. She says, if you actually become like a glutton on the thing in its season,
yeah,
you only need it in its season
yeah.
because you've
had
so
so much
of it.
Yeah, that you've now stocked your body with
but
it.
the way
that makes sense.
the way we do our food, we get a little bit of something all along, and it's never in its prime, you know.
Right.
So then you're kind of always wanting it because you never got the good part of it. But yeah, anything that's marked this season, you can come in, add the seeds, and like, will all of them work? No, but
Right. But you just
I
do
love
the
to
best
just
you
fill
can.
in the blanks. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay, so that's done. Now,
That's
do I
done?
need to rake
Yeah.
the soil back over it? Or?
I'll just a little bit, not too
Okay.
much. I'm going to come over here and do that a little bit to the
You
spinach.
just kind of stir it a little.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I think that's it.
That is so wonderful.
Yeah. Okay, what other questions do you have?
I was worried about how to know when the broccoli's ready, and I'll see it.
You will see it, yeah.
I think my questions are answered.
Woohoo! And let me show you a
Okay.
really cool thing. Here, y'all can film this. This is neat. Okay, so these are your marigolds.
Yes, and they need to go, those.
Oh no, but take this off and I'm gonna show you something cool. You grab this.
Grab this.
Oh, let me take your seeds out of your hand. There you go.
I've forgotten where I was going to put those.
Okay, you take this. I'll add a
Pull it.
couple more. Uh-huh.
Or pinch it off or pull it.
Pinch it off. Yep. Okay, now you're gonna, have you done this before?
No.
So you're gonna open up your hand.
Oh my goodness. There's
and-
seeds in there.
Yeah. Isn't that cool? So these are
Yeah.
seeds.
Those little tiny.
Each
Oh,
one.
these are seeds.
And aren't they so cool looking?
Yes.
So every single one of these
We'll make a plant.
will make a plant. So I was going to show you.
How deep do you plant them?
We can do it over there in your
Okay, let's do it.
wildflower garden. And then next spring you'll get all these marigolds for free.
Now, do you know how to do it on Cosmos? Is there a...
Same thing, but I
Okay.
don't see any that have gone to seed yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they haven't been up long. But you pull off the blossom,
Yeah.
and then you... Oh, look, there comes a bug. You,
Yep.
I've forgotten already what
So
you
you're going to
did.
take that.
Let's
so,
see it one more time.
So this is, it's called like deadheading essentially.
Uh-huh.
Oh, look. so
Okay,
this
there they
one's so
come.
ready.
Easy.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
Isn't that neat?
Yes.
So that's all.
That'll be marigolds.
So then,
That's
kind of like a cool ritual. You can take last year's flowers.
Right.
And then you spread
'em.
them for next year's life.
Now, what will these look like when they'll just be dry and kind of bony looking?
Very similar, and they'll
Okay.
have the flower wrapped around them.
Okay.
But I just take them.
Huh? And that's marigolds.
Uh-huh. And it's kind of like your wish, you know? It's like making a wish, but instead of in a well, you just make it
That's
in the garden.
wonderful. And now, will they grow under the Cosmos? Because they're smaller.
Yeah.
And that's okay?
Yeah. I mean, you can pull them up. If some come up that you don't want,
Yeah, just pull them
but
up.
it's a free plant. It's kind of cool.
It is.
This is how I first fell in love with gardening. Is I had no money, and I wanted plants, and so
And
my
it
mom
gives you-
taught me how to find free plants.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, so it doesn't look like any of the other ones are,
Okay.
but as you see it happen, here's another one.
Well, I've been deadheading them. Should I not?
Oh,
I
yeah.
cut those off and throw them away,
look.
but I didn't know these were in there. These little.
When I first, you know, that one of the first things I sold. I don't know if I've ever told y'all this. I collected these, put them in envelopes, and shipped them.
Oh my God, that's so fun.
I think that's illegal. I think you're not allowed to sell.
Oh, come on. You can if you
But
want.
I was like, are you serious? This is so cool.
It really is.
All right, I think we did it.
I love
So thinning the carrots, watering for the spinach and the red lettuce. Those are the two things.
Right.
And then I'm going to send you peas, a link
Fabulous.
to peas.
Great.
And you're going to put the peas underneath the beans.
Okay, underneath the beans. And should I ask for some cover or not? You
Frost
think-
cloth?
Yeah.
I can send you a link if you want it.
Okay.
It's up
But
to
you wouldn't really cover anything but the stuff you mentioned.
If you want to keep the marigold, like if this is when I feel like it's worth covering is when
You have something
it's
low.
going to dip and come right back.
Ah,
Because then you're like, what was the point? You
Right,
know, it's
right.
like you get this frost
okay.
that was literally for 5 hours and
Right.
then it's back at 70 the next day.
Yes.
Those are the ones to me that are really worth covering
Okay.
for.
Well, I ought to have some covers
Yeah,
here.
so I can send you
Okay.
some links.
Wonderful.
It's just frost cloth, is what it's called.
Okay.
And it's like ag fabric.
Do you sell it?
It's a fleece. I don't.
Okay.
But you can get it on Amazon. It's easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So if you watch to the end of this video, you're probably thinking one of two things. One, that is a really cool job that Nicole has, and I want to do that too. So if that's you, if you're a gardener, an experienced gardener, and you would love to walk around the garden and talk with someone about their own garden, then you got to check out Gardenary's Consultant Certification Program. You can learn all about it at the link in the description. We have lots of free resources to get you started becoming a garden consultant, and you can find out how you can apply for our program too. You might not at all be thinking that you want my job. Instead, you might be thinking you want to be Susie. Like, you want to be walking through the garden with me and have me answer all your questions. And if that's you, then you should check out Gardenary 365. This is our exclusive membership. We've got members growing all over the country, even across the world, and we're all growing together the Gardenary way. So if you love the way that we planted this garden that it's growing in, and if you want to get help from a coach just like me who lives and grows in your region, then you should check out Gardenary 365. You can find a link to sign up right below this video.